I am out here in the new vineyard. We're going to be adding 11 more rows, 14 plants in each row. Behind me here, I got the posts in already. It's easier to drive the skidder in there and pound in post when you don't have to drive around plants. In the background over here, you can see the original vineyard. Everything's doing really good in that. I'm real happy. But what I wanted to talk to you about here today, when you plant a new vineyard, there's a couple things you need to take into consideration. Of course, where you're at, but everybody always talks about that. What I want to talk to you about is your row spacing and poles and stuff. I went with 10 foot in between rows. That's what harvesters like. I'll never be using a harvester here, but also you're going to have to spray your grapes at some point. So depending on what type of sprayer you get, you'll need a certain amount of room to turn around at the end of the row. Like for me, I'll walk backwards here. I've got 25 feet here between the last post and where I get to turn around. With my pole blast sprayer on my tractor, that's enough. And 10-foot row spacing works for my tractor. With the Geneva double curtain, you're going to lose an extra foot or two because of the way the trellis is. So you got to make sure that your row spacing allows for your equipment, depending on what trellis you put up, to drive down between the rows. Given that, I went with 10-foot spacing between my rows, and my friend helped me with pretty much everything. I didn't know nothing about grapes. And I'm putting my plants 8 feet apart. They'll come up to the 6-foot wire, go out to the outside wires on my Geneva double curtain, and then they'll run 4 feet down, and that's where they'll meet the other plant coming 4 feet that way. So I have 10-foot row spacing, 8 foot between plants, and that's going to work pretty good. It's working good on my first vineyard. Everything's real healthy there. But now let me switch this around. I want to show you something else. When you go to plant these, you can see here, these are Chamberson. I've planted that one and this one. I'm getting ready to plant another one. Instead of taking a tiller and tilling up the whole row, I didn't want to disturb all the ground because the plants actually feed on mycelia. Mycelia feeds on bacteria. Bacteria feeds on the nutrients that you put into the soil. It's like when you put your fertilizer in there, the plants ain't eating that. Anyways, mycelia gets disturbed. It'll grow back, but it gets disturbed when you till. So what I did was just dig post holes where each plant's going, and I haven't disturbed the mycelia. And then I amended the soil in each hole. So we'll see. But take a look at this. I get the 8-inch plant bands so that they're long enough that I can have 2 nodes in here to grow roots. And I buy the heavy duty plant bands, but they are biodegradable. They're supposed to be biodegradable. The problem is, plants that I have had die in the past, I dug them up 2 years, and this thing is still not degraded. So when you plant your new plants, I recommend taking them out of these things. Plus, it's a good idea. You can check to make sure they have roots. This one does. It's going to get planted. It should do well. It'll do better without this plant band. That's it.